Good evening, my friends. This is Angie Stewart from Mia Inner Light here, live in Kardec Radio. Super happy to be here with all of you to continue our beautiful study of the Spiritist books. We have been studying this book, Among Brothers of Other Lands, for quite some time. So the book is already, look, what? Very few pages missing to finish. So this is exciting. I love to read books, but I love even more when the book is finishing and I'm going to get another book. It's like when I was a child, it's like, oh, I'm almost finishing, Mom. I need a new book. I need a new book. So that's exactly how I am right now. So I'm excited. So if you're new to our show, welcome, welcome. Few things before we start. It's being posted on Facebook and also on Kardec Radio. In the Facebook of Kardec Radio, Facebook of Mia Inner Light, and also in the YouTube of Kardec Radio. But I only see your comments if you are here on Facebook. If you're commenting on YouTube, I'm not going to be able to see. So welcome to all of you. I see Matthew. Hello, Matthew. How are you? So if you are here and I only see if you are here, if you write any comment in the chat room, okay? So another thing I like to say is that if you would like to have a bottle of water or a glass of water, we believe in Spiritism that the enlightened spirits, they will always put some special medication for us in our water, because we will be we'll be connecting through a prayer. So we will be able to attract the enlightened spirits to be with us. So if you can, just grab a glass of water, put next to you, then it will be your medication for today, for tonight, or for the whole week if you keep putting water without allowing it to totally finish. So before we do our initial prayer, I just wanted to invite my guest of tonight, because for a few weeks now we have a guest. Every time we have a guest that do our final prayer, and soon we will have a few guests that will be helping me to finalize the study of the gospel. The second part of this study is the gospel according to Spiritism. So tonight we have our friend Saul Souza here with us. Hello, Saul.
Hi, Angela. Hi, everyone. I'm glad to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Very good. I'm super happy to have you here too. Saul is one of the first people that participated of this group when this group was still in Skype. So it's old. As soon as I moved to Miami, Saul, Teresa, and many others joined immediately. And we never stopped studying. Very good. Very good. So, my friends, at this moment, I just want to invite you to relax a little bit. If you feel comfortable, close your eyes, because you are in front of a computer screen. You will be reading things and not be fully concentrated. So just 1 minute, let's close our eyes and concentrate with the enlightened spirits. Almighty God, our Mother and Father, thank you so much for bringing us together here tonight. At this moment, we ask your protection, your inspiration to guide us through the studies of tonight, to inspire all our friends that will be connecting in a few minutes, and also the other ones that will be listening to this talk later on. Help us to connect with what we are going to be reading, talking, so their minds can open up. And I can be well connected also to say the right words that will touch the hearts of everyone listening. Please stay with us now and ever. Thank you. So be it.
So be it.
Very good, my dear Saul. I will see you in a few minutes.
Okay.
So, my friends, very good. let's go to the study. We don't have much time, it's 9:06. So this is the book Among Brothers of Other Lands. And tonight we are starting the second part. Don't know if you can see here, the second part. So the second part of the book is constituted only of 10, 10 10 chapters. So this is saying here, this is a selection of messages received in English language. So the ones that are with us since the beginning, the first portion of the book, that's much thicker, it's like 3/4 of it. This first portion, they were messages in Portuguese received abroad, received in the UK, in the United States, and in France, the majority of the messages. The messages were received in Portuguese by many spirits like Emmanuel, André Luiz, many others. But these messages now, they were actually received in Brazil, and they were dictated to the mediums in English. So these messages were dictated already in the English language. And as you know, the two mediums that received those messages were Chico Xavier and Valdo Vieira, two Brazilian mediums that have the mediumship really well developed. And here there is a little thing that talks about, just for us, our curiosity, the other chapters were psychographed by Valdo Vieira, while even chapters were psychographed by Francisco Cândido Xavier. And the first chapter is 33rd. So let's go. Reincarnation and you. The spirit is Ernest O'Brien. So I like to do a research about the spirit that brings the message, so we have a better idea of whom he was while living. But certain spirits, they were not famous people when they were incarnated on earth. Or if they were famous, we really don't know much about them. And unfortunately, I couldn't get a lot of information about Ernest O'Brien, but he brought many beautiful messages, and usually through Valdo Vieira. So they were very connected, but I couldn't really grasp any more information about him while he was living on earth. But his message is beautiful, it's very touching. I know there are few people here that do not know much about the reincarnation, so I will go in a little bit more of a detail about it. But his message is so simple and beautiful, it's not difficult for us to understand. So before we go, I already said hello to Matthew. I see Teresa Castro here. Hi, Teresa. Nora Brazil. Hello, Nora. Nora is becoming my best friend. We exchange messages forever. We actually need to talk like I did with Matthew, not just messages. Hello, Carla. Carla is always here, like forever here. Hello, Roberta, my cousin. Hey, Roberta, nice to see you here. Okay, let's go reading because I talk too much, and I really want to do the gospel according to Spiritism too. So, reincarnation means that the soul returns to earth, to earth time, and again to human body. So we are in the spiritual realm, and then we reincarnate. We come back as a little baby to a womb of a mom on earth. Only this doctrine explains the apparent injustice of life. It is eternal truth. The succession of births, man obtains experience and knowledge about himself and his destiny. Through reincarnation, one learns that a man sow, so shall he reap. All life is eternal. The law of justice never fails. There is not a thought, word, nor action which does not have its echo. To possess, give. You must know this. Man creates causes and karmic laws adjusts the effects. You may choose between good and evil. Therefore, the best effort is self-improvement. Does it really matter in the long run? Education is the treasure of the soul. But what does it profit a man if he has such a treasure and does not use it in good works? Development of our spiritual awareness brings the light within our beings. It is not enough for a man only to possess spirituality. He must employ and demonstrate it. The way to living is giving. God has sent each one of us to be a laborer in his kingdom. The fruit of a culture is sowing works for God's bounty in the world. On the other hand, knowledge is like seed that which falls on the open heart brings fruit of perfection. If our faith in God is supreme, God reciprocates it in the same measure. Justice demands this, and we understand accordingly. We are destined for happiness here and hereafter, if, above all, we give happiness to others. This is the law of a cause and effect, rebirth. What's the use of knowledge without works? Give love to mankind, and you receive love in all of its manifestations. Every person is surrounded by endless opportunities and infinite possibilities. Karmic law responds to you as you accept it. Know yourself and practice good works always. Try it. So this message was received in July 14, 1965. Yes, long, long, long time ago. And this one was actually received in New York City, New York. I thought they were all received in Brazil, in Portuguese, but no, they were actually received all abroad. That's awesome. Okay, very good. So I'm going to start commenting right now. And please, if you have any comments or any questions, write it, and I will be happy to read and try to answer your questions. So when we go back, the first portion, the first paragraph, he says that reincarnation means that the soul returns to earth time again, returns to earth time and again to human body. So I already said this. We are in the spiritual realm because when this physical body dies, our spirit gets free and goes to the spiritual realm where our spirit will be living and learning and working. Yes, working. I remember the first time a boyfriend that I had like so many years ago told me about this. I was like, really? Like, what? So when I die, I have to work? I'm already working so much here. I don't want to continue working. And it was very funny because he was like, so what do you think you wanna do? And I was like, oh, when I die, I wanna be at the beach. And he's like, forever? I'm like, yeah. And he was like, really? That's I think that's why he actually decided to break up with me. Because he was like, "Oh my god, that's what she thinks, that's what she wants of her life." But that's how you can see I was like I think like 18, 19. I had no spirituality in my mind. My family was everybody, they were all Catholic, so I really didn't talk much about that. And the only things we used to talk is like, oh, if you're good, you go to heaven. That I really didn't like much because the heaven idea I had, there were a bunch of angels playing the harp. So in my mind, this was very boring. And the hell was really tough. I didn't want to be burned like crazy. But I was thinking about the middle area, that how do they call the limbo? I don't really know. But in my mind, it was like a middle ground, not super happy, not super bad, that kind of more or less. This is for you to understand my ignorance when I was 18. But thank God, we evolve and we actually learn and we actually study exactly how his message is telling us. What is the good thing to live here on earth if you don't progress? And he's also talking about, yes, we all come back, we all progress, but it's good for us to progress in intelligence. So we are developing our brain, we are working with certain things, and that's awesome. But we also have to evolve in spirituality. And when we know in spiritism, we only really progress, we only become elevated spirits when we progress in both ways, in intelligence and in spirituality together. Of course, it's not that in one reincarnation that we are going to become genius, neither angels. When we progress really in morality, we become much better people. But unfortunately, we progress slowly, slowly. Exactly like when I was 18, I had this kind of crazy mentality that nowadays, when I think about it's crazy, but in my reality, it was normal. For me, that was normal to die and be at the beach because I absolutely love the beach, to be in the water, swimming. But thank God I evolved, and that's not what I think anymore. And now I understand that when we die, we actually have to continue our progress. The people that we love that died before us, they might come and help us to readjust. That's the same thing. Like imagine you are invited to go to an event and you don't know anyone in this place, but you know one person, you know this friend. So when you arrive in this event, you are looking around trying to see if you find your friend. So you feel a little bit more comfortable with that person because you see the others, you don't know anyone. And when you meet your friend, you're like, hey, finally. And then your friend, he also we want to introduce you to other people so you get used to more people, you meet more people. It's like networking. So this is more or less what happens in the spiritual realm. When we wake up in the other side, there is so much to learn. We already did this process thousands of times. This is not going to be the first time we are going to do it. It's not going to be the first time we died many times. Yes, you probably like, not me because I don't remember. Yes, honey, you don't remember, but you did, okay? You don't remember, but you did. And when you die, you will have the blessing of actually knowing what happened in your past life, knowing who you were and what you did. But don't think like in your past life you were a princess or a king because mm, no, the population of kings and princes is very small. And don't think because kings and princes they are very famous that they were happy. Because if you are a history buff like me, I absolutely love history. When you read about the lives of princes and kings, they were really sad and stressful and awful and you had to marry people you really didn't like because your father wanted to connect the two countries. Not good. So not good. So let's continue, and then I continue talking about it. So I don't deviate too much of what I'm supposed to say. So let me see if anyone said anything besides laughing. Yeah, today I'm really like in a funny mood. So Nora said purgatory. Yes, very good, Teresa. Purgatory. Yeah. So I thought, imagine that purgatory was good. So I guess nowadays purgatory must be like umbral, the lower zones. Not really good. I really don't want to go there. So let's continue. In the succession of births, man obtains experience and knowledge about himself and his destiny. Through reincarnations, one learns that as a man, so so shall he reap. So here it says succession of births. That's what I was talking about. We will come back many times because we know the spirit is eternal. This body lives maximum expiration date like 100 years, and I actually don't want to be 100 years old because it's too much, it's too much. But maximum 100 years old it lives, and then it dies, and then we will spend some time in the spiritual realm. We don't know how long. It depends from person to person what the person needs to learn, and when the spirits that are preparing our reincarnation, they will put us back here. So usually takes another 100 years. It depends a lot, but it's not that you die in the next 5 years you are back, unless it's necessary. Because as I say in spiritism, there are so many different intangibles that we can never say this, because many other things can happen depending of each spirit and each need. So as I said, a lot of people don't remember their past lives. This is very common. Most of the people don't remember. But there are certain times in our lives that we have the famous French word déjà vu. Déjà vu. Have you heard of déjà vu? There are many movies that talk about it. There are some very romantic movies that talk about déjà vu. But it happens to a lot of people. When you go to a place and you have that sensation you cannot explain, you had never been there before, and you have a sensation that you were there before. And the sensation can be good or not, because it's not that you have a sensation of being in a place that will bring you good memories, because maybe you were there, you lived there, and you suffered there. So this will bring a sensation of a I don't really like it, but I think I was here before. And you start recognizing things. So, this is one way for people to think about what is deja vu. Is it a trick of the mind only? I know a lot of doctors like to say, yeah, this is your subconscious working on whatever. But for us spiritists, this is actually that person lived there in maybe in few years before, in a few years, no, sorry, few incarnations before, and when this spirit goes there again, it has these strong sensations. This happened to me every time I was in Italy. Yes, every time. But most of the time when I was in Rome, I was all over Italy. Italy is gorgeous. I have been there, I don't know, 9 times. I love this country. I think I was Italian in my past life, and then I end up in Brazil, and now I'm in America. That's the globalization in reincarnation. But when I went there to Rome for the first time, the connection was so super strong. I was like, I couldn't even breathe. And besides all that, my fiance was Italian, but from the south, and he was not very familiar with Rome because he actually worked in Milan, and he had a map. So he had the map and he's like moving the map. Yeah, no GPS in that time. Okay. So the map is like that. And then I suddenly look and I said, I know how to go there. And he's like, yeah, uh-huh. I said, I know. We go here, we go there, we go. And when you're dating, everything is good because your boyfriend never will complain of anything. So he will do whatever you want. So he followed me. And yes, we arrived at the Coliseum. He couldn't believe we arrived walking in the Coliseum, and we had parked the car super far, and we did. And he was like, how did you do that? I don't know. I just know it. So that's one of the things. So this deja vu sensation is something very common to a lot of people. You might never had that, but you might have never really paid attention on the feeling. So you can have deja vu to places, but you can also have this feeling with things that happen. Maybe you took a boat and then some kind of a terrible storm happened, and you start having deja vu because you lived something similar to that in the past. So think about it. It's more common than you imagine. And then he continues, all life is eternal. Yes, as I just mentioned, the physical body dies, but the spirit is eternal. And then he says, man creates causes and karmic law adjusts the effects. So men create causes. So men are the usually the ones who makes mistakes. So whenever we make a mistake, we have some kind of negative concentration of energy that will have to be substituted for something good. So that's when we start living the law of a cause and effect. So no one suffers because God decided to make you to suffer. It's not that. We are the ones who actually do things, and in our past lives or in this life, because it's not everything we did it comes from a past life. We can be doing something wrong in this life, and maybe the effect will be in this life. Yes, a lot of things come from previous lives, but we have to pay attention to the life we are living right now so we don't make these mistakes. And then he continues, therefore, the best effort is self improvement. Yes, when we improve ourselves in every single aspect, we are evolving faster. And then he says, does it really matter in the long run? Education is the treasure of the soul. Yes, education is the treasure of the soul. Education in every sense, not just intellectual education, but moral education too. That's why the mother and father, the family is so super important. Nowadays, people have a tendency to transfer this education to school only, and the COVID-19 came to help in this sense because the schools are not responsible for the kids all the time anymore. The kids had to actually finish the school year in the house with their mother and father. And then the mother and father start living what maybe they haven't lived in years, because the kids, they wake up very early, they are dropped off in the school, they spend the whole day there, they come back home, and they have dinner, and soon they go to sleep. But the job of the mother and father is really to educate the kids, to really correct their behavior. You know, you have two kids, they will be very different from each other, and of course kids are always jealous of each other, they will be fighting, and it's the job of the mother and father saying, don't do this, this is your younger brother, you are brothers, you have to hug each other, not beat up each other. And this is the process of education in the house. And of course, education in school also is very important, but we need to have both. So education is the treasure of the soul. But what does it profit? But what does it profit a man if he has such a treasure and does not use in good works? So you have a lot of knowledge in something, but you don't put it to work. You know something, and you could have been working with it to even to help yourself or to help others, but you don't do it. You are, I don't know, lazy, or maybe you just know, no, this is just for me. I studied hard for that. I don't want to give for anyone. This is for me. Well, yes, maybe you are doing something that you want to sell it. It's so many different things that we could talk about. But let's just take one example in thousands. There was a very famous plastic surgeon in Brazil. He died. He is in the spiritual realm now. And he became super famous all over the world. And lots of doctors from many countries used to go to Brazil to study with him. He developed a very special technique. And of course, he became ultra rich. But then one day he started having this feeling that he had to give back to society because he had everything. He had absolutely everything. He was super rich, super famous, very popular. And then he decided to take one day a week. I'm not sure if it's a week or a month, but it was one day, the whole day, and during that whole day, he performed plastic surgeries for free. His specialty was like when a person has the cut, the cut in the mouth that they don't have the superior portion of the mouth. I don't know how to say this in English. My American friends, please help me because I don't know how to say this. In Portuguese, it's lábio leporino when it's cut and sometimes don't have the roof. So he performed this type of surgeries, but many other surgeries that very, very, how can I say, people in very much need, in their need, and they had no money to do it. So he performed it for free. And he started encouraging his students. They were all doctors and they were doing specialties in plastic surgeries to join him to see how he did this, how he did that. And of course, later on, he also invited them to start doing for free in his clinic. And it was really a beautiful thing. Because imagine people that could never ever afford this type of surgery, especially from a man so famous like him and with a very famous student. So this was the beautiful thing. He had this beautiful gift, but he also thought about how to donate to society with his own knowledge, with his own job, with his own intelligence. That's the thing. Oh, I have translators. Woohoo! Let's see how it's called. Cleft palate. Matthew and Teresa, thank you. Cleft palate. I think it's palate that said. Exactly, exactly. So imagine how tough it's for a kid not to be able. Some of them, I remember he giving interviews. Some of them they couldn't even eat because it was going through the nose, so they only could drink liquid. Anyway, this is just one example of our work that we can actually benefit many persons. So now think about this doctor. Think about how many people he helped, how many souls were extremely thankful for it. If you are the mother of a child with this cleft palate and this doctor was able to help you, you are going to be forever thankful. And of course, the child too. And imagine the spirits that love this child. So, charity is love in action. That's why charity is so extremely important in Spiritism. We all can be participating in some kind of a charity all the time, because charity is not just give, charity is not just give money or give this beautiful work, but Jesus had a view of charity that was really beautiful too. Charity is really forgiving the offenses, is being understanding towards the difficulties of the others, is so much bigger than just giving. But in this sense here, it's also very, very powerful and very beautiful. And he continues, development of our spiritual awareness brings light within our beings. It's not enough for a man only to possess spirituality. He must employ and demonstrate it. The way to living is giving. So the way to living is giving. So this is the charity that I'm talking about. It's giving anything, is giving a smile. Nowadays everybody is so tense, so angry, everything is so difficult. It seems that the COVID came to make everybody kind of mentally disturbed. Everybody's fighting with each other. Internet is like is a crazy world. It's really, really difficult. But whenever someone attacks you, tries to do something negative, talks bad about you, breathe. Let's calm down. Let's concentrate. Let's think this person is not in her best day. So we are not going to give back the same thing. Because we already learned that we cannot be as bad as the others. So if someone is attacking you, it's very difficult to do exactly like Jesus said. If someone beats you up here, gives the other side. It's very difficult. And thank God nowadays we don't have this physical problem so much. But nowadays, especially because of social media, this happens in social media. You write in social media that, oh, I love the color pink. And then will come a lot of people and will say, this is ridiculous. Pink is the worst color ever. You should like gray. It's just a silly example. But then you feel angry because you wanna express your own opinion and you are being attacked. But the first thing you have to understand is that when you are gonna express your opinion in social media, it will be exposed to a lot of people that know you, a lot of people that don't even know you, and in social media, everybody thinks they have the right to say anything, and especially to attack anything, what is very, very sad. So we really have to be careful with what we show, with what we talk about, especially if it is about politics. Because people nowadays, with politics, with COVID-19, with everything, they are all fighting like crazy. So I really avoid this type of interactions. It's very, very negative. And I participate of many, many groups, as you can imagine. And some of them I am the moderator. So whenever I see something negative, I already say, hey, so sorry. No, 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 no. This is not allowed here. If you're going to do that, please, it's better for you to leave. And many other times, I also see people saying something and a lot of people fighting. So sometimes I can't control myself and I go there and I say, please, we are all neighbors. This happens a lot in the in the next door. Next door is like the Facebook of the neighbor. It happens a lot there. So I many times I go there, guys, please let us not fight about it. We all live nearby. Let's try to see things in a little bit more positive. And usually they calm down. But it's very difficult nowadays. So we have to be careful. And that's why I encourage you to share positive things, share beautiful things. I have a very small WhatsApp group that we share flowers, we share positive messages, we share messages that uplift us, that makes us like, this is so good. It's not like all the craziness that we are exposed when we turn on the TV to watch like the news. So we have to think about that too. And then he comes. What I am? Okay, God. Oh, did anyone said anything? Let me just see because sometimes I forget. Angie, is your smoke alarm chirping? I don't know. Wow, Teresa, if you're hearing something, you're really amazing. No, I don't think so. André, oh hi, Andrea Leal. Andrea Leal said, "I'm from Brazil. Politics is worse than the Corona right now." Yes, Andrea, politics. Politics in Brazil is tough, but I have to say, politics here in America is not easy either. Very, very tough. Matthew says, such polarization. Well, let me put here so it helps myself. So Matthew says such polarization is probably going to lead to a civil war. Yeah, it's not easy, Matthew. So we have to do our part. That's why it's so important for us to pray. I already said so many times, here, but whenever we pray, and especially when we pray together, that's why I started this thing of praying together every day at 10 p.m. Praying for the word is only 1 minute. So put in your cell phones. I'm searching for my cell phone. Put in your cell phones, and when it's 10 p.m., you close your eyes wherever you are, and let's pray. Let's pray for this beautiful country we live. Let's pray for the planet, because right now the turmoil is everywhere. It's not just in America, but as our friend said, it's in Brazil. It's everywhere going crazy. So we really need to do our part, even if our part is so small. Is really spiritual, connecting with the good spirits, but they can do a much better job than us. And remember, when we are together, we are stronger. So 10 o'clock, 10 p.m., everybody praying together. Don't forget about it. So let's continue here. I always forget what I did. I think it's here. On the other hand, knowledge is like seed. Knowledge is like seed that which falls. Oh, did I read the first one? No, let me read the other one. God has sent each one of us to be a laborer in his kingdom. So we are the workers of the kingdom of God. We are the workers. The fruit of culture is sown in works for God's bounty in the world. So we are the workers, and we have to do a good job. We have to do something positive. We are the ones who are going to be sowing the seed. So we have to be actually working on this. And then he says, on the other hand, knowledge is the seed. We are the workers with knowledge. So we have to take the seed that which falls on the open heart brings fruit of perfection. So if we seed something good, and this falls in an open heart, this will be perfect one day. So imagine we're talking to a person. Let me see the time. Oh, 9:45. I can give examples, although I'm never gonna finish this and go to the gospel. But we are the ones who have to give good examples. So we are gonna plant good seeds. And if the heart is open, it will grab it, will receive it, and will actually do something good too. And then he goes, in our faith in God, if our faith in God is supreme, God reciprocates it in the same measure. Justice demands this, and we understand accordingly. We are destined for happiness. We are destined for happiness here and hereafter. If above all, we give happiness to others. We give happiness to others. So this is what I was talking before. You know, we are the ones who have the seed. We have to work on it. If we have a seed, like that doctor that I just gave the example, such a powerful doctor, he's already a millionaire. And, you know, why he's going to work more? He could take one day to do nothing, to stay home, relaxing. But he decided to take one day to actually give to society, to give to the ones who couldn't afford. So that's how we have to do. We have to do something too. We all can do something. The thing is, like, we have to take the action and do it. Not to be lazy and like, visit the nursing home. Oh no. Of course, now we cannot visit any nursing homes because they cannot receive visits because they need protection. I'm talking about the nursing home. I have a charitable proposal to all of you that's watching the video. I started this today in my little WhatsApp group, and I can talk about this in another video. So it's just an idea for you. This will be called, how did I name it? Loving Mel for the elderly. So this will be the name of this charitable idea. So we will be actually writing letters to elderly that are stuck alone in the nursing home. Can you imagine you are stuck in your house for 4 months, but you still can go on the street, you still can go to the supermarket, you still can go to the pharmacy, you still can walk your dog. But imagine the elderly, they already have to be there because they are sick, they can't really move, but they loved receiving friends, receiving people that could just go there to sing. There is a beautiful group here in Miami, but also in New York and many other places called Caravan of Love, where they every Sunday here in Miami, every Sunday 10 a.m. they go to many different nursing homes to sing. So we used to go there to sing and dance with them. We spend only 1 hour and we leave there so happy. And they also get so happy. So this little project is for us writing letters for them. And we are going to send postcards, pictures, whatever. Can you imagine the smile in their faces when they like, wow, there is this person that I don't know who she is, but she wrote me a letter. She sent me a picture of her family. This is so nice. So think about it. I will create a video just explaining the details later on. So just to finalize, he goes. He goes here. Let me see where I finish. Da, 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 da. Accordingly, we are destined for happiness here hereafter. Above all, we give happiness to others. This is the law of cause and effect, rebirth. So we die and we come back. What's the usage of knowledge without works? So we have the knowledge, but we have to work to give this to others too. So we benefit from improving ourselves, but we also help others with it. Give love to mankind, and you receive love in all of its manifestations. So, whenever you give love, you receive love. But unfortunately, the contrary is true. Whenever you give hatred, you will receive hatred. So, be careful, and really give what is good. Every person is surrounded by endless opportunities and infinite possibilities. Karmic law responds to you as you accept it. Know yourself and practice good works always. Try it. So beautiful message from Ernest O'Brien Spirit. Very beautiful, and we really have to put it in practice. I hope you start doing this, my friends. I know lots of you already do many different kinds of charity, and the charity is really the word that we have to continue doing. But I always say, whenever we can do it together, it's better, it's more fun. Yes, you can go to a nursing home alone, but when you go in a group, it's much better. You have your friends with you, we do a prayer together, we sit together afterwards, we talk about what happened. Let's plan it. So we have the gospel according to Spiritism. Such a little time, but it's important for us. So we are continue scandals. So scandals. If your hand is a cause for a scandal, cut it off. It's chapter 8. So as Jesus was saying the last week, scandals are necessary, but to you, if you are the one who caused the scandal. And then in number 13, it says, I'm just going to summarize so we can actually use a little bit more of our time. Oh, okay. I thought I didn't read any comments. So number 13, it talks about it is necessary for the scandals in this world, said Jesus, because humans are imperfect. So in the planet Earth, scandals still will be happening, and a lot. In Brazil, we see every day we see a different scandal in politics because the corruption was the norm. So unfortunately, it was very tough and was very normal. But nowadays, we are discovering it. So every day, things are happening, things are coming, and like, oh, I can't believe this. But so what the spirits are saying here is that the scandals are the norm for our planet, because Earth, you still feel the planet Earth as tests and atonements. So all these things will be happening. And this is typical of our evolution. We are in the process of evolution. When we get better, scandals will not exist, because we will be better, you will be better, our neighbors, our friends, our mothers and fathers, and no one will bring scandals. First of all, no one will cause scandals, because we will be more evolved, and we will think twice. Would I like to do it? If this was going to happen to me, I would be happy. And we were going to think, no, if this happened to me, I wouldn't like it. So I'm not going to do it. So this, unfortunately, this is what's happening now. But in the future, it will not happen, because not just the planet Earth is going into the regeneration phase, but we are also improving. We are also becoming better spirits. We will die and we will reincarnate here a little bit better. So that's what's going to happen. We are not going to be doing this any longer. And then number 14, it is necessary that scandals come being in a state of expiation. So this is connected with what I was saying. Scandals will still happening because we are expiating our past mistakes or this life's mistakes. And I like when we talk about politics, for example, they robbed a lot of money, and it's like a movie. I heard of a politics in Brazil. I don't even know who was it, but he put all this money in a fake wall. It's like the drug dealers. When you read about drug dealers, they put the money in a wall and then they seal the wall. And this one, he put money in a wall and he sealed the wall, and somehow the police discover. And it's like, wow, isn't that crazy? And unfortunately, many times this is stealing money from the people. They work for the people. They work for the government to do things to help the people, and unfortunately they are taking the money from the people for themselves. And then we go number 15. Uh, if there were no longer the wrongdoer, there would be no more need for punishment. So that's what I said in the other one. We will be all evolving, so we will not gonna be doing something bad. So whenever we are not gonna be doing something bad, there will be no one in need to be punished or a scandal to happen, because there will no longer be something negative. Oh, I can't wait for this word. Sometimes like, oh my god, this sounds so far away, but it's happening little by little. It is happening, and we are part of it, and we are improving. Imagine how many things bad you did in the past. I just told you a silly story about my boyfriend when I was 18 and I wanted to die and be at the beach. So this for him was a scandal. He was like, what? That's what you think. So this was a scandal in his mind. Then number 16. But woe to him through whom scandal comes. And then that's what he's saying. That's what I was saying. Like, scandals are necessary, but we shouldn't be the ones provoking scandals, because this is not good for us. Something really bad is happening. It's a If you think in your personal point, it's not good to be pointing fingers. My son has to pick up the dogs right now. Jensen, can't you do this later? Just because I have 5 minutes to finish, the dogs have to go crazy. I have two dogs. The little one is not easy. He loves scandals. Yes, my little dog loves the scandal. He's always screaming. So let's go. Number 17. If your hand is cause of a scandal, cut it off. This is good for us to read. This is a powerful image which would be absurd if taken literally, and which simply means that one must destroy within oneself all cause of scandal, that is, of evil. One must uproot from one heart every impure sentiment, every immoral tendency. It, it also means that it would be more praiseworthy to have one's hand cut off than for that hand to have been an instrument for an evil act. So I spoke about this the last time. Imagine we were talking about reincarnation in the previous book. So we understand the law of cause and effect, and we understand that we reincarnate to progress. So every time we reincarnate, we are better than what we were. But we also understand that we make many mistakes. And imagine, for example, I gave this example, someone that's born blind. And why this person is passing by such a difficult atonement, tests and atonements. So these are two different items. A test is something that you studied when you went to the spiritual realm, for example. You studied, you think you know it well, so you will come back to earth to go through a test to make sure you learned. You learned that. But an atonement is something that you actually imposed in someone else. So you affected someone else, you affected the life of someone else, and you hurt that person. So imagine you used badly your eyes. So your eyes were used to envy others. So every person that you envy, you talked badly about it. So you saw person A and say, "Oh, that man, forget about. He does this." And many times you created lies. They were not real. And imagine if one of these lies could really have a very, very bad repercussions and change this man's life totally. Maybe he lost a job, or his wife left him because of a lie. So when you go to the spiritual realm, the spirits will show you everything good you did. Ooh, 1 minute to our prayer. So they will show everything good you did, but they will show you everything wrong you did. And your conscience, when you are in the spiritual realm, is open. And your conscience is like, yes, you used your vision so badly. You never saw the beauty in the world. You never saw your eyes to see pain and help. You always used your eyes to envy, to negative things. Guys, this is just an example. I'm not saying that everybody does it. It's just an example. So this person may be asked to come back blind. So in that life, he or she would not be able to see beauty or anything negative. So we would pass one lifetime doing a cleansing of what they did. And so that's how Jesus explained it's better to cut it off than to have it and it being used in a bad way. But of course, this is all a symbolism. It's not that Jesus wanted someone to be cutting the arms and eyes or things like that. So, my friends, time is on. We have to do our final prayer. It was a pleasant experience to be talking about reincarnation. I have to say, today I was really in a hyper mood. I think it's because I was talking about my boyfriend when I was 18. But calm down, Angela. Now we have our dear friend Saul. And Saul is our guest of today, and she will be the one doing our final prayer. So before she starts, I just want to remind you all again that every day at 10 p.m. we are praying for the world. As Matthew said, that maybe it's going to be a civil war, some crazy things happening. Let's connect with the good, with the positive. Let's pray for this COVID to disappear, to a vaccine to come, so we can kind of come back to our normal lives. So remember, 10 p.m. And my dear Saul, thank you so much for being with us. We
Thank
are
you.
very happy to have you doing our final prayer. So that's up to you.
Okay, let's elevate our thoughts, and you can close your eyes if you want. Thank you so much, God, our guardian angels, the members of the Mia in the Light and Kardec Radio, and all the good spirits that are here with us. Thank you so much for this opportunity to be here online together, studying and learning. Help us to be a better person every day. Help us to be more useful. Dear Master Jesus, thank you so much for bringing the light of Spiritism in our lives and in our hearts. Shine a light on us all. Hail Christ. Dear Mother Mary, pour your light and love on all of us here on this beautiful blue planet. May God have mercy on us. Stay with us today and always. So be it.
So be it. Very good. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Saul. Thank you so much, all of you that stayed here with us. It was a pleasure. Very, very happy to be evolving with all of you. So, thank you, Saul. And thank you, everybody. I will see you next Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Bye bye. See you soon.